Welcome to lecture on numerical methods. The topic dealt is one-dimensional heat flow equation. It is a particular kind of parabolic equation. First, let us see partial differential equation of second order. Let U be a continuous function of the two independent random variables x and y, which has partial derivatives, continuous partial derivatives of first and second order, such as dou u by dou x, dou u by dou y, dou square u by dou x square, dou square u by dou x dou y, and dou square u by dou y square. Then the equation involving any of these second order derivatives, that is called the partial differential equation of second order. Thus the second order partial differential equation in U is given by a of x comma y into dou square u by dou x square plus b of x comma y into dou square u by dou x dou y plus c of x comma y into dou square u by dou y square plus f of x comma y comma u dou u by dou x comma dou u by dou y is equal to 0. Here you will find that the degree of these partial derivatives are 1 and whose order, that is the order is 2 and the degree is 1, and it is a second order partial differential equation. Here this function may take any degree like 1, 2 or whatever, but generally here we say that this is a linear equation in second order terms. Now let us see the classification of partial differential equations of second order. So there are three types of classification according to the value of b square minus 4ac. So if b square minus 4ac is less than 0, then we call that second order partial differential equation as elliptic equation. If b square minus 4ac is equal to 0, then it is a parabolic equation. And if it is greater than 0, that is it takes positive value, then it will be called as hyperbolic equation. Particular examples are given here. A Laplace equation in 2 dimension, that is dou square u by dou x square plus dou square u by dou y square equal to 0. And a Poisson's equation, dou square u by dou x square plus dou square u by dou y square is equal to f of x comma y. So in both these equations we see that b value is 0. B is nothing but the coefficient of dou square u by dou x dou y. So here you don't have that term itself. So b is equal to 0, and a, that is coefficient of dou square u by dou x square, is nothing but 1, and similarly c is also equal to 1. So when you substitute here, you will see that 0 minus 1, that is minus 1, which is negative value, that is less than 0. Hence these two are elliptic equations. Parabolic equation, this one-dimensional heat flow equation is a parabolic equation. Its standard form is dou square u by dou x square is equal to a into dou u by dou t. Here you have only one term involving the second order derivative, that is dou square u by dou x square, whose coefficient is 1. So a value is alone 1 and b and c are 0. So here b is also 0, c is also 0. So when you substitute here, you will have a 0. Hence this is a parabolic equation. In this video we are going to solve this equation only. And there is another type hyperbolic equation. For that example, one-dimensional wave equation. Here you are having two second order derivatives. Dou square u by dou x square is equal to a into dou square u by dou t square. So when you bring this term to the left hand side so that it will be in the standard notation, you will see that a value is equal to 1. that is coefficient of dou square u by dou x square. And the dou square u by dou t square, the coefficient is here a. When it comes to the left side, it will be minus a. Sorry, here you should have minus a. So this value will become 0 minus 4 into 1 into minus a. So totally that value will be positive when a value is positive. So always this a value we take as positive value. So then this will become a hyperbolic equation. So here we note that in these two equations the independent variables are x and y. But given examples in these two equations, you see that the independent variables are x and t. So u is a function of x and t. Now let us see boundary value problem for partial differential equation. Consider a rod of length L which is heated. Then the temperature at various points will vary according to the time. So as time varies and at various position of the rod, the temperature varies. So if u is such a aspect of a rod, that is which depends on the position and time, then u is a function of x and t. Suppose the rod or this length of interval of x is divided into some discrete values. Say for example, if we divide this interval into some 6 subintervals, then we will have x value varying from 0 to 18, and when you divide 18 by 6, you will have the increment for x as h is equal to 3. So x values or x is equal to 0, 3, and then when you again add a 3, you will have x is equal to 6, x equal to 9, x equal to 12, and x equal to 15, and finally x is equal to 18. So we have divided this whole length into 6 subintervals. Suppose we are marking these subintervals along the x-axis. So we are having some discrete points, and the initial value of u, that is like temperature, is known at these points. That is, initial value of u is known at these points. Then as time varies along vertical axis we are having time. As time varies, it is possible for us to find the value of u at these interior points if we know the value of u at these two boundary values, that is at x is equal to 0 and at x is equal to L, for example 18. So you are given u of x comma 0, that is the initial value for u when t is equal to 0 and at x is equal to any value in between 0 and 18. Similarly, the end value at this end point of that rod, you are having u of 0 comma t. At one boundary, u of 0 comma t is known, and at another boundary, u of L comma t is known. Then it is able to find, that is we are able to find the value of u at these internal points, that is when x is equal to 3 and at any time, when x is equal to 6 and at any time, we are able to find the value of u at these internal points. So we have made this length as discrete, so we mark the increment one by one. So here when I is equal to 0, j is also equal to 0. I is nothing but represents the number of increment of x. So here the number of increment is 0. When we are given 1 increment, then I is equal to 1, then 2 increment, 3 increments, like that. So I varies from 0 to 6. At the 6th increment, you will have 6 into 3, that is equal to 18. That is, this length x is equal to I into h. H is nothing but the increment of x. Similarly, along this direction, you will have t value. T increases. So those increment, number of increment is given by j. J takes the value 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. or 0, 2, 4, 6, etc. So the increment in t is denoted by k. You add that value step by step. So now we can see what is, mesh points. So these boundary values and the initial values are given. From these values, we are going to find the value of u at the internal points. So at internal points, suppose you are taking some mesh point, we call this as a mesh point. At some internal point, we take one cell as I comma j, that is along a horizontal direction it is I and vertical direction it is j. Then when you move rightward, I only change. I changes from I to I plus 1. And when you move from this position to left, I decreases. That is, I value changes from I to I minus 1. But throughout this horizontal line, horizontal cell, you have j value as constant. So j remains constant in this row. Similarly, when you see along column wise, j values increases when it moves upwards. When we move from cell down to upwards. So here you are having I comma j. So next line or next cell above this cell, you will have j plus 1. So when you come below, it will be j minus 1. But we care about the next lines. So here you will have I plus 1 and j plus 1. Correspondingly here you have I minus 1 as the horizontal component, and when you increase from one cell to the next cell above, you will have j plus 1. So in boundary value problems, we will be given the boundary values and the initial values. Our aim is to find the value of u at these interior mesh points. So generally we use the line, this line, jth value of u to find the u value at j plus 1. So u I comma j plus 1 will be found using these neighboring points or the below mesh points. We will see it by an example. A solution of the parabolic equation, in particular the one-dimensional heat flow equation that we have already discussed, dou square u by dou x square is equal to a into dou u by dou t. So the solution can be obtained using two methods. First one, Schmidt relation, and second one, Bender-Schmidt recurrence relation. As we have already seen, the value of u at j plus first row is obtained using the value of u at the jth row. Actually, these formulas, this first formula is obtained from the finite difference formula for partial derivatives. So here you are having the partial derivatives, dou u by dou t, I may represent as u suffix t also. So here the value of u at j comma j plus 1 minus uij divided by k gives the value of dou u by dou t. That is the change in there is a change in j. Similarly, the value of uxx, that is the second derivative, is obtained using the first derivative ux, where you have ui plus 1 and I alone in ux. But for uxx, you have these three values of u. And h denotes an increment in x and k denote increment in t. It is otherwise called as step value. Here when you replace lambda is equal to k by h square by a and substitute these two finite difference formula in this equation, you will get the Schmidt relation. That is u I comma j plus 1 is obtained like this using these two formulas. So u I comma j plus 1 is equal to lambda into u I plus 1 comma j plus 1 minus 2 lambda into u I comma j plus lambda into u I minus 1 comma j. In particular, when you take lambda value as 1 by 2, what happened? 1 minus 2 lambda will become 0, so that this term gets eliminated. So Bender-Schmidt relation is obtained from Schmidt relation by taking lambda value as 1 by 2. So u I comma j plus 1 will be equal to 1 by 2 into u I plus 1 comma j plus u I minus 1 comma j. So let us solve some problem, one for using the Schmidt relation and another one using Bender-Schmidt recurrence relation. Solve the equation dou u by dou t is equal to 1 by 2 dou square u by dou x square, comma 0 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 12, 0 less than or equal to t less than or equal to 12. That is x value and t value lies from 0 to 12. With the boundary and initial conditions, u of 0 comma t is equal to 0 and u of 12 comma t is equal to 9, 0 less than or equal to t less than or equal to 12. U of x comma 0 is equal to 1 by 4 into x into 15 minus x, 0 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 12 using Schmidt relation. So the given equation is can be rewritten in the standard form, that is second order derivative on the left side and first order on the right side. So dou square u by dou x square is equal to 2 into dou u by dou t. Here we see that a is equal to 2. For the sum, we may take, since the increment in x or t is not given, we may take h is equal to 3 and k is equal to 3, so that the formula for lambda, that is equal to k divided by h square a, will give 1 by 6. So for the Schmidt formula, we also need 1 minus 2 lambda, which is found to be 2 by 3. You substitute these two values in Schmidt relation, then it will become u I comma j plus 1 is equal to 1 by 6 into u I plus 1 comma j, that is lambda value is replaced by 1 by 6, and here you have 1 minus 2 lambda, so that is replaced by 2 by 3. So 2 by 3 into u I comma j plus 1 by 6 into u I minus 1 comma j. The boundary conditions are given to be 0 and 9. So these two are independent of t. You may write these equation in difference form, that is using j. J is the variable for denoting t. So j is maximum value is found from this. So we have taken k to be 3, that is increment in time to be 3. So you divide it by, and your 4 comma j is equal to 9. The given initial conditions are u of x comma 0 is equal to 1 by 4 into x into 15 minus x. Here also you find the terms in terms of I, u of I comma 0, that only we need. So here also I value takes the maximum value 4, since we have taken h is equal to 3. So x is nothing but I into h. So I value takes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and replace here x by so I value varies from 0 to 4 and u of I comma 0 is equal to 1 by 4 into instead of x here you replace by IH 1 by 4 IH into 15 minus IH. So h value is 3 and I value varies from 0 to 4. For all these value you have to find a value of u. Since here you are not having any constant value and it depends on this I, that is the number, hence you find the all u values. U of 0 comma 0, you substitute I is equal to 0 and h is equal to 3 in this equation. You find that u of 0 0 is 0, u of 1 comma 0 is 9, u of 2 comma 0 is 13.5, u of 3 comma 0 is 13.5 and u of 4 comma 0 is 9. So now let us plot this boundary and initial conditions in the mesh points. So here along this horizontal line you have I value varying from 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. What you have found as the initial conditions are being marked here 0, 9, u of 2 comma 0 is 13.5, u of 3 comma 0 is 13.5, u of 4 comma 0 is 9 and the boundary conditions are marked along here that have been noted for j value 0 to 4. So now our aim is to find the value of u at these interior mesh points. Put j is equal to 0 in Schmidt relation. We get u I comma 1 is equal to 1 by 6 into u I plus 1 comma 0 plus 2 by 3 u I comma 0 plus 1 by 6 into u I minus 1 comma 0. So here we see that the value of u in the first row is obtained using the values of u from the 0th row. So these initial values have been found using initial and boundary conditions. Now from this initial value, that is j is equal to 0, this row, we are going to find the value of u in this row, that is in the first row. Now you put I is equal to 1 in this equation. What you will get? u11 is equal to 1 by 6 into u 1 plus 1, that is 2 comma 0 plus 2 by 3 into u 1 comma 0 plus 1 by 6 into u 1 minus 1, that is 0 comma 0. So to find this value, the value of u in this cell, that is u1 comma 1, we are going to use the value of u from this row. These three values, u value at 2 comma 0, u1 comma 0 and u0 comma 0. So these three values are used, substituted in this equation to get u value as 8.25. So here you see that after substituting these three values, you get the value of u here. Similarly, when I is equal to 2, you will get the value of u 2 comma 1 using these three values. But first let us substitute that I is equal to 2 in this equation. So you'll have u 2 1 is equal to 1 by 6 into u 2 plus 1 3 comma 0 plus 2 by 3 u 2 comma 0 plus 1 by 6 u 2 minus 1, that is 1 comma 0. Find that this value of u is obtained from these three values. So substituting these three values here, what will you get? 1 by 6 into 13.5, this value, plus 2 by 3 into 13.5 plus 1 by 6 into 9. So after simplification, you have found this value as 12.75. Next, to find this value, put I is equal to 3 in this equation, so that you will get u31 as this equation. And for finding this value of u, you use these three values of u, that is the value of u below this line, three values. And after substituting this value, u at this point is, at this cell is 12.75. Similarly, you can find the value of u when j is equal to 2 using the Schmidt relation, where you substitute j is equal to 1. In the left hand side it will become 2, and on the right hand side you will have j suffixes as 1. So the value of u at 1 comma 2, I value 1 and j value 2, 1 comma 2 is obtained from the values of u from these three values in the j equal to first row. Okay, so you substitute in this formula and obtain these values, 7.625, and here you have 12, and here the value is obtained from these three values and it is found to be 12.125. So the second row, after filling the second row, you will find the value of u in the third row. It is when you are speaking third row, you are going from down to upwards. So this value of u is obtained from these three values, u equal to 0, u is equal to 7.625 and 12. So from these three values, you substitute in the formula and get this value of u. Similarly, the next value is obtained as 11.292, 11.583, and the next row is found using, that is this row is found using these value of u in this row. So next sum we are going to solve using Bender-Schmidt method, Bender-Schmidt recurrence relation. Here also from the question we see that this equation represents one-dimensional heat flow equation, and the boundary condition and initial conditions are given, but the value of x, the range of x is not given. So from this value you find that x lies from 0 to 5. So initially that is at one end the value is 0 for x, and at another end the value of x is 5. Find u in the range taking h is equal to 1 and up to 3 seconds using Bender-Schmidt recurrence relation. So from the given equation we see that a value is equal to 1. So given that h is also equal to 1. To apply Bender-Schmidt recurrence relation, we have already noted that lambda must be equal to 1 by 2. So accordingly we have to take the value of k. So hence from this formula which you have found for lambda, is lambda is equal to k by h square a. So where we can substitute lambda is equal to 1 by 2 and a as 1, h as 1. We get k value is also equal to 1 by 2, which is nothing but 0.5. So the boundary conditions are noted here. As like the previous sum, the value of x should be, or the term x should be replaced in terms of I. Here h value is equal to 1, so x is equal to IH. So simply you replace x by h. Sorry, x by I. So u of I comma 0 will be I square 25 minus I square. Hence u value is u of I comma 0 is equal to I square into 25 minus I square for I value ranging from 0 to 5. So that the initial values of u are found to be these values. So now you plot these values in the two-dimensional plane, x-axis, t-axis, and here you see that I value takes or varies, I value varies from 0 to 5, and the corresponding values obtained along j is equal to 0, that is the initial values are marked here. And here you see that the j value has the step increment k is equal to 0.5. So first value j is equal to 0, then you have j is equal to 0.5. Similarly next j is equal to 1, 1.5. So you add some increment of 0.5 to j. Till 3 seconds they have asked, so I have stopped till j is equal to 3. So now our aim is to find the value of u at these interior mesh points. And initial and final values, that is the boundary conditions at the initial or both endpoints are 0. So u value is here also 0, here also 0, along this line also 0. So I have written Bender-Schmidt recurrence relation. U I comma j plus 1 is equal to 1 by 2 into u I comma j plus 1 is equal to 1 by 2 into u I plus 1 comma j plus u I minus 1 comma j. So now fill that interior values. So from the formula you can see that j plus 1th row, that is you take any j value that is obtained from the previous u values of the previous row below, but here you are using I plus 1 and I minus 1 first column alone. So first from here you start, you are going to find the value of u1 0.5. You need not write the formula here, but you see that this value of u is obtained from these two values. That is, so to find a value here, you are going to use the value of u at this point and at this point, right? Because u j plus 1 is here, u I comma j plus 1 comma 0.5. You are going to obtain this value from the value of u here, the value of u here plus the value of u here. So to find a value of u in this region, in this cell, you have to add these two values and divide it by 2. So here you are having 0, here you are having 84. So 84 plus 0 or 84 plus 0 divided by 2. What will you get? 42. So similarly, the next value, the value of u in this cell is obtained by adding these two values of u and dividing it by 2. So 24 plus 144, that is 168 divided by 2, you will get 84. So 168 divided by 4. So similarly, the next value, here the value of u at this point is obtained from these two values. Okay, values of u value here and here, you add and divide it by 2 to get the value of u at this point. So to get the value of u at this point, you add these two and divide by 2. There is 84 plus 144 divided by 2. Similarly, all other values are found. So first you fill or find all the values of u in this cells, that is when j is equal to 0.5. You find all these value of u using the value of u at the j is equal to 0. So similarly, next line, you are going to find the value of u when j is equal to 1. For that, you are going to use the values of j from this row. So this value and this value of u. You add these two, 84 plus 0, to get the value of u at this value, this point. So 0 plus 84 divided by 2, that is again 42. And similarly, the next value. The next value is obtained by using these two values, 42 and 114. You add these two values and divide it by 2, you get 78. Similarly, you add these two values and divide it by 2, you get this value. So 114 plus 0 divided by 2, you get 57. So it's a simple formula, but you have to remember what is the value of k that should be taken so that lambda is equal to 1 by 2. So from the value of u in this cells, that is at j equal to 1, you use these values to find the value of u when j is equal to 1.5. So these are obtained like this, and the next cell, next row above is obtained using the current row, and the next row above is also obtained using the current row. So just add these two to get the value of this. That's all. So this can be extended till infinity. So at any point, any time, at any time point, you can find the value of u. Next, you may try these sums. One is using Schmidt method. For that, you may take a h value of 0.2 and k value of 0.02. Another one using Bender-Schmidt method. So here h value is given to be 1. Correspondingly, you have to find the value of k. Up to 6 time steps it is asked. So you may try these sums. Thank you.